Welcome. I'll demonstrate a number of tools in Excel that I have found useful in validating data, whether at the data discovery stage or as a step in validating data that has been migrated to another system. The demo setup has three components: a sample data table, a summary chart, and a button that runs a VBA macro. Let's start with the sample data table. It has a column called Asset ID, and I put at the end column here an ellipsis to indicate that in reality you're going to have so many more columns. The asset ID is a string made up of 7 identifier codes separated by a dash. Each of those 7 identifier codes specify a value of an attribute that makes it easy to locate and identify the asset. For example, the first code is the HHS district code. Second is facility, building block is the third, and the fourth identifies the floor or the level, and so on. This format is of course not Queensland Health official. It's only a dummy format that Google found for me, so I had something to work with. Now, what is the demo? Suppose we have entered migrated data from a legacy spreadsheet to an enterprise system, maybe say SAP HANA. And one of our validation tests is whether the distribution of floor or level in the legacy spreadsheet matches that of the data in the enterprise system after migration. Now you can imagine any or all parts of the asset ID being used for validation, and the same goes for any other column in the data table. Now, because I don't have two different data sources to compare, I'll demonstrate 3 tools could be used to build a solution. 1, formulas; 2, summary statistics; and 3, automation. So how have I used formulae here? So glad you asked. I have inserted a column into the sample data table called floor section. And what it does, it extracts the 4th element of the asset ID, which is the floor. Now, this formula extracts the floor from the asset ID, but you can imagine there is a ton of different formulae that can be used from within Excel. Now, how has the demo shown the use of summary statistics? Enter the second of our 3 components. The second component is a chart. It displays a typical descriptive statistic, the count. Now, there are many other statistical functions that can be used, but count is almost always useful in validation. Finally, the use of VBA automation. The final component, the button runs a VBA macro. In this case, the macro randomly generates a new list of asset ID. Now, again, this is only to demonstrate the capability of macros. In general, a macro can be used to automate any operation that we wish to implement. Note also that there are only 20 rows here because I want it to fit within the display window for recording. But you could imagine in reality that'd be thousands of rows, but the tool applies the same. So now let's run the demo by creating some new random data, and you'll see the chart respond as the data is cleared out one by one and then repopulated starting at the top. Let's go. And there it is. Hopefully I have shown enough to demonstrate how any validation can be performed in Microsoft Excel. Thank you.